tons of pancakes left, so if you want to announce after you're all done to like.
Oh, you guys are keeping it warm out there?
Yeah, we just got a bunch left.
Hello?
So
I saw Frank and Scott. They're flipping like crazy.
if you want to announce before, if they're not staying for the 11, there's
I might say that right at the beginning, just in case, because I'll forget.
Okay, hello everybody. Good morning. My name is Miss Kira. Miss Nancy's on vacation today, so I am leading you guys today. Can you hear me? Louder? Okay. How's that? Better? Okay. Hello, my name is Miss Kira, and I am helping Miss Nancy, who is on vacation today. So I'm going to help you guys out today. If you have any questions afterwards, come find me. And I wanted to introduce you to our speaker today. We have the privilege of a guest speaker. Now, if you guys know Mr. Bill Kaiser, you're in for a treat if you don't, because I met Mr. Bill several years ago when we were teaching CCE a long time ago. And I was like, I'd seen him in church singing, and it was kind of like meeting a celebrity, so I was kind of nervous. But then I met him, and I saw the way he is with kids, and he just makes the Bible stories come to life in a brand new way. And he's actually going to lead a lot of our lessons this year. So give him your time and your attention and your ears, and enjoy the lesson that he's going to lead to you.
Great. Hi. It's good to see everybody. Can you hear me okay? Wonderful. So again, thank you for allowing me to spend a little bit of time with you this morning. So I'm subbing in for Father Tilly. And I'll probably be doing this maybe 4 or 5 classes during this period of your education. I taught this class, my goodness. So my boys, a little bit of background. So I've been married to my wife, Carol, for 27 years. I've got 2 boys, 22 and 20. John is my youngest. He went to school here through the elementary, middle, and high school. He's a junior now at the University of Utah. He's studying mechanical engineering. My oldest graduated, Matthew, from this facility and then the U, and then he went through business. So while Matthew had a very easy path through school, relatively, compared to John, who's constantly studying, Matthew's now at Goldman Sachs up in Salt Lake City. So they got a great education here. It wasn't cheap for any of you folks who've attended school here, but we made it through. So as a result of that, though, my boys went through this program. So I accompanied them, just like you parents are here with your kids. So you never know, 10, 15 years, you could be up here doing this just like me. What are we talking about today? Let's chat about, is this lesson 3? Are you here? This is your 3rd week here? Okay. Here in the sanctuary. What was the first lesson? What did you learn about? Yeah. God created, right? So God created everything. Me, you, the earth, asteroids, everything that we know God created. Angels. He gave us the church that we're here celebrating with today. Okay, what was week 2? Yes? Noah and the ark. What did Father teach you about that? Yep, and did Father mention what the flood kind of referenced, or what?
There were a lot of bats in the world, so God decided to flood the world, and only Noah would be in the ark, so because he was the best person that was there at that time.
Very good. Okay, come on, you're teaching. Come on. All right. Okay, so Baptism. Baptism. It washes away original sin. We learned about original sin in that lesson. We learned about why we needed Jesus to come and be our Savior. We learned that baptism washes away sin. Now today we get a little bit more into the meat and potatoes, pizza and Coke, peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter. I don't like peanut butter. You know why? Because I'm almost deathly allergic to it. Who watched the video on Formed about the chicken ninjas? Wow. I love the little sound they made when they were babies. We're going to talk about sin a little bit. What was the girl's name? Yeah. Bucktooth Becky. What was her real name? Oh. Lucas? And her last name was Sunnyside. Becky Sunnyside. Is Bucktooth Becky a nice name? How come? Yeah, hon? Is it nice? No? Is it a nice name? Kind of being mean, huh? In a way, that may be a little bit of a sin, huh? Remember Ryan, when he was building the volcano, his friend was building the volcano, and Becky had the little chickens for their class project. So Ryan didn't want to be with Becky, and so he left her to be with his friend who was making the volcano. For you parents who ever watched the Brady Bunch, that was one of my favorite episodes when, I think was it Peter or Greg, had to make the volcano in the backyard. Kids, if you haven't seen the Brady Bunch with the volcano, you need to watch that. Okay, I segue you. So they left Becky and gave her a funny name. Not very nice. What? Did Becky forgive them? No. Lucas? Ooh. You and Mateus may have to come teach. That's a really good answer. So he said that she didn't forgive them, and she wouldn't change her mind. So that means she never forgave them, huh? She was so planted in that dislike, maybe even hatred of them, that she wouldn't forgive them. So much so that she went to, where'd she wind up going? Yeah, Hazel, she went to jail. Okay. So we see in that story a picture of someone who is offended, someone who's been hurt, right? Calling people names isn't nice. I was a victim of bullying somewhat in 2nd and 5th grade. I can remember being nervous, having to walk to school. I remember thinking of a different path I could take because this one kid would bother me. Well, if I had it to do over again, no. I forgive him. Yeah, I forgive him. So, we hear now, then, let's jump into what we wanted to talk really about today, the Bible lesson. What was today's lesson about? What you read last week as a family. Was it about some guy named Tommy? Tommy in a coat? Yeah, hon. What was his name? Joseph. How many brothers did Joseph have? Oh, somebody really knows the answer? Yeah, hon. 7? I think it was a little more than that.
I've got an
Cooper?
answer over here.
12?
11.
I'm hearing voices. Okay.
11.
11. Yeah. 11. Joseph was kind of special. His father really liked him. Well, that sun is bright. So Joseph was the father made Joseph a nice coat. What happened with the brothers? Yeah. Ooh, jealous. Jealousy. I'm jealous because I have a Ferrari and he has a Lamborghini. Not really. But what does jealousy mean? Jealousy kind of means you want what someone else has.
I have some answers back here.
Oh, there you are.
Who had their hand up? Want to answer?
Wait, what did he say? Jealousy means to be jealous of something. Like, imagine if someone had something you wanted and you just were jealous.
Yep. Wonderful. Very good. So, everybody have their Bibles? All right, it's not a big deal because I know how to read. Yes. I knew there was a reason I went to school. Page 58. I'm going to go through page 58. I'll pick and choose portions to read. So, top of page 58, if you have it, Joseph had a dream. Please listen to my dream, he told his brothers. We were binding sheaves of grain. So they were collecting grain and bundling it up. When my sheaf stood up and your sheaves bowed down to my sheaf. So he had a dream that his bundle of wheat was nice and tall. All the brothers kind of bowed their heads of grain. Okay. Joseph had another dream. Listen to my dream. This time the sun, the moon, and stars were bowing down to me. Again, we see someone bowing to someone else. Kind of a show of, Jesus, we come into church, we genuflect, right? You bless yourself because Jesus is here. The tabernacle's back there. The altar candle is lit red, so we know Jesus in the Eucharist is in the tabernacle. Okay? Now, even Jacob said, do you think that your mother and I and your brothers will bow down to you? The brothers became more jealous, but his father remembered what he said. That's kind of an important little thing. If you want, you can read your Bibles. It's a little more detailed than this. But the father had an idea that, he must have had a little feeling that something special going on. Maybe God is talking to my son. So long story short, we're going to kind of jump ahead a little bit because of time. The brothers were so hateful of Joseph. What did they do to him? Yeah. They threw him down in a well. Our book says it's a cistern, but basically the same thing. Some of them wanted to kill him. Whew. That's a pretty strong sin. You can't get much worse than that. I've got news for you. Okay, so but what happens? What do they do instead?
I've got one back here.
Okay, good.
They threw him down the well and ripped his clothes and said that he got killed by an animal.
Yeah, so they put a bunch of animal's blood on the robe. Okay, so now, man, let's count the things that are going on. So they're envious of him. They're jealous of him. They want to commit murder. Now they're going to lie to their father because they're going to pretend that Joseph's dead. We also learn that, hey, we can make some money out of this. We can sell him. I can sell my brother into slavery. Man, I don't know about you, but this is a family I'm not sure I want to know really well. So what happens? They sell him into slavery. I'm just watching my clock. They sell him into slavery. Where does he go? Does he go to New Jersey, where I'm from?
Where does he go?
Egypt.
Egypt. Does he become a slave in Egypt?
No.
What happened?
He's a slave to the Pharaoh.
He is the Pharaoh's second-hand man. If you figure the Pharaoh's the captain, Joseph's his lieutenant. Very good. Joseph then does, what happens with Pharaoh? So we saw Joseph had dreams. Joseph could interpret dreams. Who else had a dream now? So we saw Joseph talking with his family saying, hey, here's dreams that I've had. What happened with Pharaoh? Yeah. He had dreams. What were his dreams about? Remember? Okay. One was real tubby cows. Tubby cows. One was really thin, and it had really thin cows in it. Then he dreamed about dried up sheaves of wheat, and then he dreamed of real plump heads of grain. All right, I'm baffled. What did all that mean? Yeah, Matthew? Yes, 7 good years and 7 bad years. So there were going to be 7 years of abundance and then 7 years of famine. Joseph told this to Pharaoh. Did Pharaoh say, Dick, you're out of your mind. I looked at the long-term weather forecast on Farmer's Almanac, and nothing like this is coming. So Pharaoh trusts Joseph. We jump forward and we hear about this actual stuff takes place. And then Joseph's family, let's fast forward again, so there's abundance, they're smart, they store stuff up in warehouses and Costco's. Well, they didn't have Costco's at the time, but you get the idea. And then the famine strikes. And people from everywhere come to Egypt to buy food because they were smart, they listened to Joseph, they stored up food. The family, Joseph's family, suffers under the famine, just like everybody else. What did they do? Did they die?
Hang on one second. I got one over here.
Yeah.
They went to Joseph and the Pharaoh for food.
Yes. So they went and they said, let's go visit this guy that's leading, or second in command of Egypt, and get food for ourselves. Joseph, they come to him, Joseph recognizes his family, but they don't recognize him. Fast forward again, we find out that what does Joseph do? Joseph gives them food, right? Does Joseph forgive his family? Hans? Yeah. Joseph winds up forgiving them. And they live happily ever after. So we see different themes within the chickens and Joseph. Joseph demonstrates forgiveness while, let's call her Bucktooth Becky, doesn't forgive at all and winds up paying a pretty big price. Okay, so that's Joseph and the coat, 1006. Now, I'm going to tell you a story about a gift. I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to tell you a story about a gift I think I received. Personal thing. And then we're going to have another, one of the teachers also provide a story that they want to share. So remember, we've now talked about forgiveness, and that's kind of the key to this whole lesson. The forgiveness that people can demonstrate it to other people. Before I jump into this gift I want to tell you about, why is forgiveness good? Yeah. Ooh, because God forgave us. Bang! That's fantastic. So God forgives us. We're supposed to be like Jesus. We're supposed to do the things that Jesus does. All throughout the Old Testament, there are similar stories to what we just read about with Joseph, where God forgives people's sins. At the time, they were doing, got to approach this delicately, they were doing things called sacrifices. And I'll leave it at that, but that's how the people in the Jewish world would obtain forgiveness of their sins with God in the temple in Jerusalem. We don't do that anymore at Mass, do we? It's not like we have certain kinds of interesting sacrifices here, but we have Jesus represented. We see when Father's on the altar, and Father goes through all the Eucharistic prayers, this is my body which will be given up for you, this is my blood, the cup of the new covenant. We're not re-killing Jesus every time we celebrate Mass. We're basically kind of present supernaturally at the time of the Last Supper when Jesus introduced the Eucharist. It's kind of fun to think about this stuff supernaturally because it's really kind of what it is. Sometimes folks will, there's a lot of wonderful apologetics for parents, especially if you ever look at Catholic Answers, or Catholic.com, there's a bunch of wonderful apologists that talk about any kind of topic you could possibly wonder. Because truth be told, a lot of the arguments that happen every day between different religions and stuff, it's already kind of been settled and argued 100 times. So Catholic.com is a good resource for you. So, forgiveness. How do we receive forgiveness now in the church? Yeah. Confession. Reconciliation's another word for it. 2 weeks ago, did Father work with Miss Liz, and did they do kind of mock confessions? Right? You saw how it works? I've got a confession for you. I'll go to confession weekly, usually not longer than 2 weeks. I have found in my advanced age that that confession helps me avoid sinning. It really does. And I'm now aware of situations where that may lead me into sinning, and I run that way as fast as I can away from it. So that's a little plug for going to confession to the parents, because the kids haven't gone yet. Just my own experience. So forgiveness and gifts. Okay, my gift, real quick. How old's everybody here? Or Retza, how old are you? 8? 7? 8. I was maybe 10 or 11. Grew up in New Jersey, loved to fly kites. There was a high school in New Jersey, St. Joseph's High School. Still there in Metuchen, New Jersey. It was bigger than this campus. We would go down and fly kites. What happens when you fly kites? Do you have 10 feet of string? What do? You fly a kite. But, hold on. 10 feet of string? 20 feet of string? You go to the store and you buy the longest roll of string that you can find to fly your kite. You want to see how high it can go. So that's what I did. And I'm flying my kite, and the campus is larger than this one. Flying my kite, and my buddy's with me and my younger brother, and we're flying the kite, my string breaks. I mean, my kite's tiny. And boom, The kite goes flying off in a direction, and I thought, I'm done. Mom's going to be mad I lost my kite. There's 2 rows of white pine trees in St. Joe's Field, and they're separated by the distance of a football field, and these trees are probably 100 years old. One stand of pine, and then another stand of pine. Watch my kite go flying. I'm like, I'm done. It catches, the string catches into one of the trees. And my kite's still flying. For a second, I thought, oh, I'm going to get my kite back. But no, it stays flying. We leave. I've adopted the fact that I've lost my kite. So I wind up going home, eating lunch, doing some things, come back, my kite's still flying. My kite's still flying. The wind never stopped. What do I have to lose, I thought. What did I do? What did I do? What am I going to do? I'm at a loss. I can't do anything. I could tell the truth. I wasn't so worried about Mom. I wanted my kite back. That's my kite. So what did I do? What? Could I climb the tree and then get? No. What did I do? Yeah. I prayed. I was pretty young. Lord, I love my kite. Could I please, could you please stop the wind? I remember it like it was yesterday. Could you please stop the wind so my kite would come down? What happens? I'm watching the kite, and the kite starts dropping. Drops some, but then it stops. Lord, I need the wind to stop. It did come down, thank you, but I need the wind to stop. I'd like my kite back. The kite continues then to fall. I'm telling you, I know it's a little miracle, but I had one. So my kite falls. Remember, I'm near one stand of pine, and there's another one. The kite drops below the far set of pine trees, so I can't see it. Woo-hoo. I'm running to go find my kite. I get on the other stand of the pine trees, look up, and I look down, and there's my kite. Do you think I can reach it? No. It's about 9 feet off the ground. I look down, and there's one of those permanent concrete benches stuck in the ground right below my kite. There are no other benches there. For some reason, the school decided to put one bench there. I get up on the bench. I can reach my kite. Now I'm tall again. Wasn't that tall then. Got my kite, go home, boom. Jesus, thank you for my kite. So my gift that I talk about when I relay this story is faith. There's a lot of passages in the Bible. If I have more time, I'd run over them with you, review them with you. But faith, the substance of things hoped for. And God likes it when we cooperate with him. So my gift was faith. We saw Joseph had the faith of forgiveness. We saw Bucktooth Becky that didn't have a gift of forgiveness. So now we're going to invite a dear friend up to share his gift, to chat about something that he wants to bring up with you. And then we'll continue on because we have some very simple gifts and a little more discussion that we're going to have. Matthew?
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Let's give a round of applause for Bill there. Really good stories. Real quick, my name is Matt Sagoon. I'm one of the small group leaders here. I'm going to just take a quick minute. I've been asked to share a gift that I feel that I've been given by God. And it's something I think that I've always questioned a little bit, but in those times of needs or when I'm kind of unsure, I sometimes feel this sense of divinity come down and push me in this direction. And the gift specifically is around leadership. And for some of you guys and gals who are a little bit younger, your parents probably know this, but there was an important date called September 11th, and it happened a long time ago in 2001. And it was an event that happened to our country. And out of that, I just graduated high school. I wasn't doing anything. And I heard this voice in my head, or this calling, that said, hey, you need to go do something. And I didn't really know what to do or what it meant, but I ended up joining the United States military, and I ended up being pushed into military service by my own choice, right? And I just felt that there was this calling that God wanted me to do something more. When I was in the military, if you've ever been in the military, it's not that bad. You can actually have a really nice time by what we call flying below the radar, doing easy, bare minimum, not really working hard. Or you can actually, maybe put a little bit more effort. I wanted to be very kind of lazy and not do a lot, but this voice from above kept telling me, hey, you have more in you. I need you to go help others. And I feel this gift of leadership is really rooted in this idea of helping others, serving others, right? So in my military career, what I ended up doing is working hard, trying to, be promoted, not so much for myself, but it was really to help others. I feel one of the greatest gifts I've received from that is from hearing from other people that have worked with me or that I've served. And they've said, hey, you've really helped me out. I was in a tough spot. You cared about me. You checked in on me. And I think those are those qualities of leadership that were given to me by God. And then finally, when it was time for me to leave the military, I didn't know what I was going to do. And I heard another kind of voice from above say, hey, I got a new calling for you. And I was pushed in this direction of leadership through service to go be a teacher. And I went and became a high school teacher after that. And it was awesome, and I loved it. And I feel all of these three kind of examples are rooted in this gift that I've been given of leadership. So that's my gift that I wanted to share with you guys. And on that, I think we have our next activity.
Okay, so we have, thank you, Matthew. Wonderful. That's a gift that not everybody has, leadership. It's certainly something that God gives people to help support others, right? Okay. Gift boxes are going around. There's gifts in there, very simple. But inside there are things, open those up, and then we're going to talk about a few together as a large group about what you've received. So as soon as we have those out, then we'll have a discussion. So you can start opening those right away. You got 5 minutes. So as you receive those, open them up. These you'll take home with you. Take a look at what it says on your gift and raise your hand if you want to talk about it. Because I want to know what gifts you've received. I'm curious. All of the things that are on there are gifts that God can give us. And we're going to learn that there's a whole bunch of gifts that God can give us. Matthew and I just talked about leadership and faith. And I have no idea what's on those papers. Ah, that's the sound of paper unraveling, opening your gifts. Or eat. Now, the other option we can do is you can just call out and raise your hand and let me know what gift you received. Matthew. Obedience. Who got obedience? Anybody else? I would think there's a few of them. What's that mean? Lucas? Yeah, so obedience, being responsible and kind. You know what it really means? Also, listening to your parents. There's a plug for the parents. But it's true, right? But what about obedience to God? Right? God established a church. The church says we should spend an hour a week coming to Mass. That's obedience to God. Obedience to God's church. Okay? What else does someone have? What are the gifts? Alexia? Music? Really? Huh. So music, I love music. Some of you may know I sing here at Mass. I sang at Mass last night. I try to play the guitar. Music. Music is a set of notes and harmonies and things that together raise us up to are supposed to raise us up to heaven. Right? Even in the Bible it talks about horns blaring and trumpets blaring, choirs of angels praise the Lord in song. Hey, if angels are doing it, I want to be doing it too. Okay, what else do we have? Kindness. Kindness. Was Bucktooth Becky kind? She wasn't kind, but was Ryan kind to her? Right? Think about that. So Ryan was kind of mean to her, and that just flipped the switch, and then Becky wasn't going to forgive, but instead was angry with Ryan and wouldn't forgive him, apparently. Okay, what other gifts are there? How about over here? Anybody got something good?
I've got one back here.
Voices again.
Truthfulness.
What was that one?
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness.
Faithfulness?
Truthfulness.
Truthfulness. Ooh. So, Joseph's brothers. Were they truthful with their dad when they took his cloak, put blood on it, and brought it to him and made him basically think that Joseph was dead and eaten by a guinea pig? Right, that didn't come out right. But anyway. But right, so they weren't, that's one of the worst things you can do, because almost always telling a fib, telling a lie, just kind of makes things worse and worse. What else we got? Oh, patience. Patience. Parents. I don't know about you. Now, I'm from New Jersey, so I got a little bit of a chain around my neck anyway, because I've been here 20 years. But I'm not necessarily the most patient driver. Come on, who's with me? No. Patience. I generally, that's one of the things I'll confess when I go to confession each week or two. Because, man, I try and realize that I don't have to be in such a hurry. The world isn't going to end if I don't get somewhere right at the right time. So I struggle with patience, and I pray for that a lot. That's a really good one for me personally. Yeah? Which one? Writing. Writing. Ooh, authors. People that write inspirational things for us to help build our faith. Now, truth be told, I like Tom Clancy and stuff like that. But I'll read at least one chapter of the Bible every night. I'm in Father Tilley's Bible and breakfast. Guys and ladies, parents, if you don't, you should come to that. It's like every 2 weeks. It's about an hour and a half in the morning on Saturdays. They alternate. Father, you get breakfast and you learn about the Bible. What else? Aretzia? Mercy. Mercy. So mercy is when God doesn't punish us. We don't get punished, but he's merciful to us. Because we may sin, right? And do things wrong. Does he strike us down? No, he's merciful. That's another thing I pray for every time I say my prayers at night, and I thank God for mercy every day. Because I mess up every day. Yeah. Prayer. So prayer. Whew, that's another big one. Hey, I'm starting to think every one of these is really big. Huh? So prayer is talking to God. There's a lot of stuff in the Bible about praising God, and that's probably the most of my prayer is that. I don't ask for a lot of stuff. I pray for you guys, and on my way over, I prayed for the past students I've taught and their families. But I praise God a lot in prayer, and that's one of my big things. So talk to God all the time. Ask him to help you. Ask him to help you when your kite doesn't fall to the ground. Okay, I'm at 10:28. Where's Kira? Kira, are we about announcement time?
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Kira has announcements. Take your gifts home, right, and talk about them amongst yourselves. We hit about, 7 or 8 of them today? So I thank you for spending time with me. I think I'm here I don't know if I'm here in 2 weeks, but I'm going to be teaching a few classes, so I'll see you again. Miss Kira, for you.
Everybody tell Mr. Bill how much we appreciate him. Say thank you. That was awesome. And everybody got some great gifts? Good. So I just have a couple of announcements really quick. The link to pay registration fees has been sent via email. You can also access the link on our website. If anyone asks, explain. Oh, sorry. Nope, that's for me. Year 2 only. On Sunday, October 29th, we will be sending out an email to select the Mass you want your student to attend to receive their first Holy Communion. This is first come, first serve. Yes?
Do we have any sessions next week?
Any what?
Meeting next week will be the home lesson.
Next week will be a home lesson.
Yeah, I think
Right.
that's right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll double check. Yeah.
That's October 22nd, I think. It shows family lesson on
Family home lesson. Okay, I think that's all I have. So, you have any questions? Oh, yes. Sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry.
He goes every 2 weeks to talk about Father's new
Oh, yes, the new confession times. So we have confession Tuesday mornings before Mass, and then on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8, we're doing like the Rosary, Compline, and there is confession time there too, and still on Saturdays. So check your bulletin. All the new times are in there in red, so easy to find. Okay, thank you so much, and God bless you, and see you next time.